Canada, brought to you by Molson, Canada's name in beer since 1786. Brewers of Molson Canadian Lager Beer. Canadian General Electric, progress for people since 1882. Canadian Tire Dealers with 326 stores to serve you across Canada. And by the Ford Motor Company of Canada, on behalf of your Ford and Mercury dealers from coast to coast. Hockey Night in Canada presents the Buffalo Sabres' first visit of the season to Maple Leaf Gardens. Good evening, everyone. I'm Dave Hodge. Welcome to the Sabres and the Leafs. The Buffalo Sabres are in 6th place, and there are many teams in this league that would like to be 6th. The Sabres aren't one of them. They'd prefer to be 1st or 2nd place where they finished last year, and we'll ask head coach Roger Nielsen what the trouble has been. Not that it is major trouble. 10 goals you scored against Pittsburgh, and then 2 nights later you give up 8. That's not the consistent Sabres that we've known.
That's right, David. And I think this year the NHL seems to be that way. It seems to be a lot harder to keep the goals out. And we've been inconsistent this year. There's no question about it. In 2 of our last 3 games, we've had a lot of goals against. And I don't think we can blame our goalkeepers. So there just seems to be defensive lapses around the league this year. It seems to be kind of a contagious thing.
Must Gilbert Perreault score as he usually does for you to move up in the standings?
Oh, I think so. And I know last game he was really flying, and yet he's still, you know, he's having trouble getting the puck in the net. And one of these nights he's just going to break out. He's been getting his points, and he's been playing well, but he just hasn't been clicking around the net. And I know Danny Gare went 5 or 6 games at the start of the year and then really broke out, and I'm sure Gilbert will do the same.
Thank you, Roger. Following the game on the NHL tonight, we'll return with Hockey Night in Canada in just a moment.
This is the General Electric pot scrubber 2. The Drakes own one. Their neighbors don't.
Lasagna, darlings. Simply marvelous.
It has the unique multi-orbit spray arm that puts the water where you need it most.
Mine couldn't get it clean.
And a very clean conscience about saving you energy.
Arriba! It's chilly, it was hot on the pot. It is dirty out.
The General...
People like you, people who do. Canadian Tire.
Hello, hockey fans. This year only. His 14th year in the league, and his linesman Ron Finn and Swede Knox. Ron Finn's 12th year in the league, and Swede Knox his 10th year. And there's Finn talking to Newell, getting ready to go to work, as they do. So we'll have a shootout, Mick.
Well, the Leafs have been giving up a lot of goals lately. Jim Buffalo, of course, coming off a big loss at Calgary, gave up 8 goals, very uncharacteristic of Roger Nielsen's style of hockey. So it's quite possible we could have a lot of offense here tonight. Bill Derlego getting ready for the opening face-off as the Leafs start with number 19. Derlego at center. His left winger is number 16, Hickey, and on the right side, number 22, Vive. And the Toronto defense, 21 is Somm, 4 is Picard. As Somming breaks up the play, and in comes Pro, checked off the puck by Vive. It slides into the Toronto zone off the stick of Jimmy Schoenfeld, who's on the Buffalo defense, with Van Buxner, number 4, on the right side. As the Leafs come out, that's Derlego. On his right is Vive. Vive has been very consistent in recent games, probably Toronto's best player over recent. One of the great stick handlers in the game. Moving in on Turnbull, drops it to Van Buxmer. The save, a loose puck in front is kicked just wide of the net. As Savard tried to kick it in, but it's covered. I'm sure that goal would have been called back, Jim. Anyway, Jimmy Rutherford down on the play, and Savard took his left foot, tried to kick it. It just went by the goalpost, but Dave Newell was standing right there, just missing the net. Now Saganuk racing in against Height. Tall defenseman reaching in for the puck and went behind the net for Boudreau. To the point to Turnbull, took a shot. A loose puck in front. Edwards down. Anderson trying to dig out the puck. Play is still going on. Now Height covered up the puck and the play does stop. This line, Jim, of Saginaw, Boudreau, and John Anderson. Big scramble around the net, Height flying down, and he finally clears the puck up. But these three guys can really fly out there, and we'll be watching for them all night long, I'm sure, as with Donnie Edwards.
Bill Height, who's been out with injuries lately, they're covering the puck on his back and just hoping it would stay under him long enough. And it did, as Edwards prepares for the face-off in the Buffalo zone. Puck being brought out to center by Craig Ramsey, number 10. Number 9 racing in after the puck for Buffalo is Dudley. Number 20, Don Luce, is the third man on the Sabre forward line. Against the kid line of the Leafs, Anderson, Saginaw, and Boudreau. Puck loose in the Buffalo zone, might be icing. Icing is called as Richie Dunn got to the puck. From Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto, this is Hockey Night in Canada.
Perry picked the pleasure pack. Paul picked the pleasure pack. Pam and Penny picked the pleasure pack. Now you say, why did Perry, Paul, Pam, and Penny pick the pleasure pack? Because they know Molson puts 2 of Canada's favorite beers in the pleasure pack. Molson Export, Molson Canadian. That's why Perry picked the pleasure pack. And Patrick picked the pleasure pack. And Peter picked the pleasure pack. And Perry.
The Molson Pleasure Pack. 2 great beers in one.
There's the ex-coach of the Leafs, now the coach of the Sabres, Roger Nielsen. Perreault and Sittler ready to face off in the Toronto zone, and they're waved out by Ron Finn. So the centers go out, and in come wingers, McKechnie and Paymont for the Leafs. Number 99, Will Paymont, taking his time lining up. No score. We played it in 45 seconds. A shot by Gare right on. Rebound in front, and McKechnie just missed it. Sittler goes to the board, scooped it line and out. Paymont racing. The puck, Van Boxmeer gets to it first, puts it off the boards for Schoenfeld. Cleared it to the line and out. This is Danny Gare, one-on-one, being on Parrish. The shot deflects off Parrish, wound up wide. Rutherford scooping it on the boards. Van Boxmeer shot it to the corner. Paymont goes to the puck. He's out there with Sittler and Martin, number 25, a former Sabre, is the left winger on the line. Van Boxmeer. Long pass for McKechnie. McKechnie racing to the puck in the corner. Got it to Danny Gare, number 18, battling along the boards. Puck came loose. Martin finds it and comes out. 4 Leafs at center, 4-on-2. Can he do something with it? Van Boxmeer broke it up with a good check on Martin. Sittler's in front. The pass didn't get to him. It's wide open, but there's no score. Flipped in wide of the net. I think there'll be some goals if they keep playing like this. The Leafs coming out as Shand feeds it on the right wing. Rick Vive lost possession there. Teams changing on the fly. Hickey with the puck. Hickey, Derlego, and Vive now up front for Toronto. That's Picard with the puck. Joined on defense by number 21, Salming. Rick Vive to Derlego. To the corner, bumping with Height. Puck came loose. This is Savard for Buffalo. On his right is Dudley. Couldn't handle the pass. Play is not offside as the Leafs put it in their own zone as the Sabre picked it up inside the blue line, but Height drives it around on the board. Put in behind the net. It came in front of the screens. Bounce out of the corner. Tipped in by Dunn. Savard centering it. A loose puck in front. And Dudley failed to get a shot. Height's backhander picked out of the air by Picard. No score nearing the 4-minute mark. First period. Fast pace. Hickey with Vive on his right. Vive tried to take it off his skate. Vive from behind the net. Derlego's in the slot, but the puck didn't get to him. Picard shot partially. 591 consecutive games for Craig Ramsey. A long ways away from Gary Unger's all-time record of 914. Teams changing on the fly again. Lots of wide open action with no whistles. Danny Gare, the captain of the Sabres, now to Smith. On the left wing, a race for the puck as Hamel goes in after it. Gare digging it out, back of the net, lost it to Turnbull. Shot for the left point by Mike Ramsey's block. The Leafs start back. Rocky Saginaw takes an offside pass to stop the play. Tonight's game is coming to you from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto.
It's lightweight. It's portable. It's virtually indestructible. You can hammer on it, saw on it, sand on it, paint on it, drive a screw on it, cut a pipe on it, plane a door on it, the picture on it, or a wheelbarrow, or a chair, or a bicycle. You can even have your lunch on it. The incredible Black & Decker work you ever worked without it.
And a season's greetings to you, Mickey Redmond.
Thank you, Jim. I think I'm going to ask Santa Claus for a bicycle to get up to the gondola here. It's such a long trip at Maple Leaf Gardens.
As part of your conditioning program, you might think come back after a few trips. No score in the game. 4.5 minutes gone, first period. The lead starting out of their own zone as the pass tips down the ice. Icing is waved off. That's big Larry Playfair, number 27, going to the puck. Bumped by Dan Maloney. Puck bouncing outside the line. Paymont corrals it there. Shooting it in as Sittler and Maloney move into forecheck for Toronto. Playfair from
Up is on the other end of the radio that Punch Imlach using possibly in the press box to try and relay some information that may help the club down on the bench.
It was Jerry McNamara, who's a scout for the Leafs, working alongside of Punch up in the press boxes. Even the Leafs are now going electronic. 5 minutes gone, first period, no score, playing the Buffalo zone. Schoenfeld puts it off the boards, intercepted, Turnbull centering it, it went across in front dangerously. Melrose, number 26 of the Leafs, moving to the puck. Perreault missed it, a shot. Great stop by Edwards on the shot by Darryl Sittler. There's the save so far in this hockey game.
Well, Edwards, of course, along with Sauvé, Vezina winners last year, certainly very deserved of that trophy as well, and has played very well, as Roger Nielsen was mentioning before the game. Here comes a shot by Martin right there, possibly screened by the Buffalo defenseman right on the short side. Good stop by Edwards.
Sittler and Perreault on the face-off. Fine centers matched up. Sealing steers the puck to center ice. Turnbull chasing it in his own zone. He's on defense with number 26, Melrose. As in goes Lindy Ruff, the forecheck. Turnbull avoids the check and brings it out. His pass too far ahead. The puck is scooped out to Lindy Ruff, number 22 of the Sabres. His first shift tonight. Now Van Boxmeer with the puck back in his own zone to Schoenfeld. Puts it on the boards for Ruff, who's out there with Perreault and Sealing for Buffalo right now. Perreault stick handling around at center, trying to get room to work. Van Boxmeer dumping it in. It's knocked out of the air by Shand, number 3 on the Leafs. Out there with Turnbull. Now Rick Sealing dumping the puck into Buffalo to complete a line change. Shand from back of the net. Long pass goes the length of the ice out of the reach of Saginaw. Icing indicated as height goes to the puck. Icing is called on Toronto. This is Hockey Night in Canada from Toronto.
Over there.
You gotta have heart. You gotta have heart. Miles and miles of heart. Miles of heart. If you're gonna brew a beer with great taste, there's only one place to start. Molson Light has got heart. It's got heart. Molson Light has got heart.
Join the movement to light.
No score in this hockey game, and we played 6 minutes and 12 seconds of the first period, but there have been some early chances, Mickey Redmond.
Both teams skating very well, Jim, at this point. It's important for both these teams. The Leafs have not been having very much luck at home, and Buffalo, of course, they're not happy with the way they've been playing lately, so they're both out for a big win here tonight.
Buffalo has their line on that's been the most consistent this year, but Shand comes out for Toronto. Drops it back. Ellis' shot just ticked wide.
Kind of a funny goal here by Clark Gillies of the Islanders. A long slap shot. Looks like Bouchard was screened. Yes, he was on the play. A long shot, although he was a bit screened. It looked like it may have slipped right between his legs, and Long Island goes up 1-0.
I guess the Islanders, the way they're playing right now, are the best team in the National Hockey League. They might dispute that in Los Angeles and Philadelphia, because those three teams are all tied for first. Here's a close chance in front. Great stop off Boudreau by Edwards. He robbed Bruce Boudreau. Another chance in front for Anderson. Shot for the point. Misses the net. That's Boudreau going to the puck, and he just made a great play in close. From the right point, Shand shot deflects, and Edwards picked it up. Edwards is hot, and it's getting a little rough in front of the net. There hasn't been any earlier signs that this sort of thing would break out. Boy, Edwards looked great on those two chances.
What a great stop he just made there on Shand's shot. It deflected off the Buffalo defenseman. It was redirected into the other side, and Edwards just stuck out the big trapper and got a hold of it as it was going in the open side.
Well, with the score, the Leafs nothing, the Sabres nothing. This is Hockey Night in Canada.
It happens every morning. The new Braun Micron 2000 does it. The Braun Micron 2000, built to shape, drawn close,
perform for perfectionists. With a platinum-coated micro-thin foil, the Braun Micron 2000, German precision in your bathroom every morning.
Here's a look at a great chance for Bruce Boudreau. Well, the Leafs again, this line putting some pressure on. Boudreau cuts right in front of the net, being hooked a little bit there, but just couldn't quite get it up over Edwards' stick. He made a good play, stretching right out to the far side of the net to make the stop.
Bruce Boudreau is playing very well in the American League, and there is Larry Playfair because he gets a 2-minute penalty for that last melee in front of the Buffalo goal, roughing the infraction. 6:58 was the time. Toronto with
makes it pay again. Salming a good pass over to Ian Turnbull. Instead of just blasting it, makes a nice pass to Sittler, standing right in front of Donnie Edwards, and he just deflects it into the open side. There's the pass over to Ian Turnbull. There it is, a good pass. He could have shot that puck, Jim, very easily, but instead of blasting it, he took his time, spotted Darryl Sittler over there on the open side. Look at that puck, threaded right through about 4 players, and Sittler all alone just deflects it into the open side.
The Leafs were fortunate, too, that Maloney did not touch the puck in front. The shot by Vive, and Edwards makes the save, and the Leafs are getting lots of chances. Puck is around in front again. This is Vive getting set. Can't get the shot away. Back comes Hamel, number 17, to Sealing, taking it in. Rick Sealing back for Hamel. Trying to center it from the inboards. Knocked down by Picard, and the Leafs come back. Pass intercepted by Sealing, back check. Schoenfeld feeding it at center now. This is young Hamel with a slap shot. Kicked out as Gilles Hamel tested. Now Perreault from behind the net. Perreault, room to work in the corner. Being bumped by Derlego. Salming tried to tie up Hamel. The puck is still in play. Perreault from behind the net. Try to center it. There it is. No one can get a shot at it. Hickey coming back with Derlego and Vive. Vive on the right wing as Derlego just missed the pass. Sutton from Turnbull and Salming at 7-17 on a power play, the Toronto goal. And they executed it just like on the blackboard. Van Boxmeer centering the puck. Rutherford steered it back on the net for Turnbull. Don Edwards from Hamilton, and there's where he played his junior hockey. The shots at this stage already are 10-6 in Toronto's favor, and we haven't played 9 minutes yet. Sittler's goal was his 16th of the season. Face-off control by the Sabres in their own zone. This is Dunn rushing with the puck to Gare, to Derek Smith. Lost control, and Turnbull picks up the loose puck. Almost intercepted by Gare. Gare keeps working to dig out that puck. Helped by Derek Smith, number 19, his center. McKegney, the third man on the line, take the shot, hit the side of the net. Whiteman right off the post. Puck is scooped back into Buffalo territory. Might be icing as there's a race for the puck. Richie Dunn gets to it. Toronto called for icing. This game is coming to you from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto.
I'm into having some fun, you see. Good times for you, you and me. Let's break away for the good times. Good times feeling free. Breaking away to Canadian. Breaking away to the good times.
Waiting on a face-off in Toronto territory with the Leafs leading 1-0. Darryl Sittler on a power play from Turnbull and Salming. As Smith and Sittler now face off in Toronto territory. Finn dropping the puck, goes to Parrish. Parrish on defense.
Joe would be much happier if it was at 19:59 of the third period about now.
Well, we've seen a lot of goals lately. For and against. They've been wide open. And there's Roger Nielsen, 46 years of age, a career coach. Van Boxmeer from back of the net. Puck kept in, centered now, right in front. There's Martin digging it out, but it's back. And Van Boxmeer roughing it up. Good chance in front for Paymont and also Terry Martin.
Boy, again, Leafs putting on some more pressure. Edwards makes about 3 stops. There's a first rebound. Another one coming up by Paymont. Fortunately, Edwards was down and the puck gets shot right into his pads. But Toronto all over the Sabres at this point.
That game was in Boston today, and a late goal by Bob Schmutz, his 14th of the year and his first back in Boston as a Vancouver Canuck. Gave Vancouver that win, their 3rd in a row on the road. And in Detroit today, the Red Wings unloaded, beating the Blackhawks 7-3. A bit of a surprise in your area there, Mickey.
Well, the Wings have been coming on a little bit as of late, Jim. They've been having their problems, but the one problem they've been having is scoring goals. So maybe they've got it going today. They can keep it going.
Got a close look at Andre Savard on the face-off, and the shot hit the post. Sittler blasted it and deflected off the goal post. It's still 1-0 Toronto. Shannon having trouble controlling the puck. Van Boxmeer picks it up. Schoenfeld, his defensive partner, takes the pass. Schoenfeld got it ahead to Savard. Now Perreault's playing with different combinations out there. Perreault from the corner, kicking the puck loose. Recovered and played to the point by Savard. Van Boxmeer's shot hits Sittler. Schoenfeld the puck. We're halfway through the first period. It's Toronto 1, Buffalo no score. Savard being slowed up by Hickey. Sealing goes in after the puck as Hickey and Savard go to the ice, and the puck is coming up on the boards.
Here's a look at that shot coming up that hit the goalpost behind Edwards. The shot from Shan. There's a deflection. Edwards, of course, expecting the original shot. It changed directions and went right off the inside of the goalpost and came out behind him. Boy, he's got his horseshoes with him tonight so far.
He was well out, though, coming out to face. There wasn't room on the short side.
Well, Dave Shan can fire it from back there, but that shot was deflected, Jim. And Edwards, of course, was expecting the straight drive and couldn't move quick enough to get that deflected.
Someone is being greeted for the birthday greetings here, and the crowd react to that as Don Luce flips a shot easily handled by Rutherford, who hasn't had a real tough stop to make yet, in goal for Toronto. Derlego, Vive, and Hickey up front for Toronto right now. The Buffalo line is Craig Ramsey, number 10, with Don Luce, number 20, and Dudley, the third member of the line, Rick Dudley on right wing. Card bumping along the boards with Don Luce. This is Dudley coming in with Craig Ramsey going to the front of the net. The pass deflects high. Gunn moves in to get the puck. Now to Craig Ramsey. Slowed up by Salming. The puck went back at the net for Don Luce, trying to come out in front.
Of Dudley, Luce, and Ramsey. Boy, there's three guys that any coach in the National Hockey League would like to have in their club any time at all. They're three guys that don't quit working. They're supposed to be a checking line, if you can believe it. And actually, they get more offensive opportunities from being good checkers than a lot of offensive lines.
Face off in Leaf territory. Boudreau comes out to face off against Luce now. We'll watch and see who wins the draw. Luce is a very good face-off man. So young Boudreau will get a test here. But Boudreau wins the draw. Puck tied up on the boards. Boudreau goes to the puck. With Boschman injured, he's getting a chance to play with the Leafs. He's had a good first period. Boudreau with the puck. Anderson trailing, but Anderson had moved to the right, and the pass went to the left. This is Mike Ramsey losing the puck. Ron Ellis with a chance. He shoots. Edwards stopped it. Anderson centered it. Edwards picked it off. And Boudreau was waiting all alone in front, and Edwards is keeping Buffalo in the hockey game. Live from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto, this is Hockey Night in Canada.
Once upon a Christmas in a little boy's dream, there were 10 toy soldiers, all alike except one was powered by Duracell batteries, the others by regular carbon batteries.
10 toy soldiers, all made alike, set out together on a long, long hike. After just a few hours, 9 of them quit. The one still going has Duracell in it.
Duracell. The copper-top battery. No regular battery looks like it or lasts like it.
Well, here's a look at Ronnie Ellis coming in for the first shot on Edwards. It could be a long night for Donnie Edwards if this keeps up. There's the save with the trapper there, the rebound. Anderson tried to jam it in the short side, and Edwards made another stop. But Edwards probably wondering where his defense has gone so far this evening.
Anderson scored 2 goals Thursday in Montreal to reach the 100-point mark in his young NHL career, and he had a great chance there. Smith and Boudreau ready to face off in the Buffalo zone. The Leafs are leading 1-0. Ron Ellis back to the point. This is Turnbull from the left point. Shot easily handled by Edwards, and he hangs on. Ron Ellis getting a lot of ice time here in the first period for the Leafs, and some nights he doesn't get to play. And there's Tony McKechnie, who's coming on and having a solid season. And he's part of a line with Gare and Smith. That's probably been Buffalo's best line.
It is so far, Jim, and McKegney, of course, second most goals in the club. Gare leading the club with 18 goals, and Tony McKegney 15. So that line is very dangerous out there. And with Martin out, of course, Perreault has been kind of his effectiveness cut down because they're keying on Gil Perreault, and they don't have to worry about a Richard Martin out there. So this line is really leading the Sabres offensively.
Leafs controlling it. Center Shand with the puck. Waits for his mates to get onside. Dumps the puck in. Toronto's leading 1-0. Edwards misses to make the puck back to the net. It's intercepted in the corner. Martin behind the net. The hard pass went by Paymont. Shand going in deep. Lost the puck on the end boards. Schoenfeld clearing it out to center. Got away from Smith there. Brought back in. This is Gary Martin. Shot stopped by Edwards. Paymont tried to center it from the corner. Bumped by Schoenfeld. He knocked Schoenfeld down. Change. Rutherford, McKegney. It's still 1-0 Toronto. A lot of action in this first period. Most of it in the Buffalo zone. Rick Vive rushing with the puck. Gets the puck again. Checked away from him by Rick Sealing. This is Perreault. He's hit the post. I almost said he scored, but he didn't.
Well, you almost expect Joe Perreault, he gets a chance like that to score, but that's maybe why he's only got 6 goals this year. He beat Rutherford cleanly and just hit the goalpost, and it fell right back to Jimmy where he could fall on it. There's a look at it there. Jimmy way out of his net, right off the bottom of the post, and Jimmy said, "Thank you very much. I'll just cover that one up." Here's a look at Perreault again from another angle. Boy, Rutherford he's got to be 15, 20 feet out of that net.
Both goaltenders have had a little help with those posts in this first period. It's a 1-0 hockey game, but many scoring chances. Sittler's power play goal, the only goal of the period, and there's only been 1 penalty of the period. Now 7 minutes left in the first period. Shot from the point by Picard, steered away by Edwards. Bill Height gets the puck. Now to Sealing. His pass tipped away at the line, and they go offside.
Tonight on This Week in the NHL, we'll have a review of the realignment story in the NHL, a report from Winnipeg on the coaching change there. We'll have our player of the week, our goal of the week, and we'll try to answer the question, what makes Bossy so good? Coming up, first intermission, This Week in the NHL.
It'll be interesting to hear what they say about what makes Bossy so good. He's got 30 goals. He got the winner in Edmonton the other night. A great goal scorer, Mike Bossy, one of the featured guests in that feature in the intermission. Here it's 1-0 for Toronto. And a hard check by Ron Ellis as he knocked down Savard, and Ellis is going to get an interference penalty. Well, Ron's getting a chance to play tonight, the 35-year-old Leaf, and I think he's going to get a penalty here. This is Hockey Night in Canada from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto.
My favorite designer label shirts. But I'd like some with the patent mark collar.
Only Arrow has the patented mark collar.
Only Arrow? Hey, wait a minute. These styles are really great.
Only Arrow has the revolutionary patented mark collar. Shaped not like a tube, but like a cone to fit the contours of your neck for comfort like never before. And a fresh, crisp look with the neckband out of sight. Excuse me, didn't you want some of those too?
No. Only Arrow.
Here's a look at the scrambling. Ron Ellis coming in and hitting Savard. Really not a dirty check or anything. He just threw the shoulder into him, but Dave Newell decided to call it, and that's Ronnie Ellis's first penalty of the season, Jim.
That's right. Of course, Ron hasn't played very much except killing penalties, but his first 2 minutes of this season, and he seldom gets penalties at all. But on that play, Newell would obviously feel that Savard had not played the puck and was denied an opportunity to play it because interference was the call. 13-27 the time, so now Buffalo with a man advantage. Their power play has not been as potent as you might expect. It's 11th in the league in percentage.